Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us this Sunday evening on Ask Us Anything.
Yes, welcome. I want to apologize if the internet connection is staggering a little bit. I'll tell you why. It's because it's raining out, and that always kind of messes up the Starlink a little bit. And then the other part is my cellular connection is all overtaxed because all of our friends on this tour that we're on are watching us, are streaming videos. So there's not as much bandwidth. Everybody watching us, don't watch us in the campground. So our video is going to be staggered a little bit. I'm using PepLink with Starlink as the primary, and then Verizon and T-Mobile, and it sort of picks up the best of those three signals. But if the two cellular signals are overtaxed, which I think they are, because in this campground, everybody's streaming video right now, and a lot of you are watching us. So hopefully this will stay. Where are we? This is Sunday night, so we must be in St. Louis. Yay, right on the Mississippi, and well, actually the Missouri is closer to us right now. It's just over the levee, and the levee is not dry. It's raining.
And boy, I have forgotten how beautiful that arch is. And it was, yeah, and it was so much fun going on a tour of it. We'd been on a tour before, but this time it was much more meaningful.
I think we're obviously on a fantasy RV tour of the Mississippi River. If you haven't been with us for a while, we're halfway through. We're 17. Today was day 17.
Today is day 17, so we're halfway through it.
And we are on our way down to the Gulf of America, the Gulf of Mexico. That way nobody can get mad at me. Oh yes, people will get mad at me because I should say one or the other.
Oh, just stop.
And if I say the other, the other people get mad. So
we're going to the Gulf.
We're going to the Gulf. We're going to follow the Mississippi down. We started up in, it's pretty silly, isn't it? Started up in Minnesota, and we're going to follow it all the way down. And it's been really a great trip. These guys have organized awesome. Today, we had an awesome tour of a botanical garden.
Oh, it was so beautiful. I just enjoyed that so much.
And it was, it's one of the, I think that it is widely considered the best in North America, because not only did they have all this stuff on display, but they saved these seeds. And this St. Louis Botanical Garden sends out teams all over the world when plants are going extinct or endangered, and they gather up seeds and they preserve them. And they've actually helped a lot of species of plants go from being extinct to thriving again. So anyway,
extinction to getting thriving again. So it's just a wonderful place to visit.
So that was Jennifer's favorite thing this morning.
Well, I like the cathedral, the church that we went to.
Went to a cathedral. And then my favorite part, and all the guys' favorite part, was we toured the Anheuser-Busch Brewery in St. Louis today. And what a great tour that was. Started off with the Clydesdale stables, beautiful horses.
I didn't get close enough to the Dalmatians.
And free beer, a fascinating tour of the huge complex here in St. Louis, and a little bit of the history. And the river played a big role because it brought the two German immigrants, Anheuser and his younger partner Busch, here to St. Louis. And it's been fun. We've learned a lot about Lewis and Clark. We just had a really great time. We go from here to Cape Girardeau, and then
we got the book next year.
Yeah, where are we going? I'm not sure.
It's only one night where we're going next.
Yeah, we go from here to.
Isn't it right on the top there? Go back where you were.
No, that was the wrong one. We're going to. Oh, we have a lot of stops actually.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of places that we're still going to.
All right, so left on this tour.
I think that's it.
Should show you. This is the note page of one of our trips and the turns we have to make. But we go to Cape Girardeau,
because we're
Missouri.
trying to follow the Mississippi River.
Yeah, the Great
River. We
want
to hug the river.
Going to Cape Girardeau, and then to Marion, Arkansas, and the Memphis. It's a Memphis KOA. It's just across the river there in Arkansas. And then down to Vicksburg, Mississippi, and then to Natchez, right across from Natchez, Mississippi, and Vidalia, Louisiana, actually, and then down to New Orleans. So that's where we've got coming up. It's been a great trip. And if you are interested in it, you can follow along on our YouTube channel. We've been doing updates the first 2 weeks. We had the second week came on today or yesterday, and then the first week is up, and then we'll have a third week this Saturday, and we'll just continue to do that. So it was a lot of fun today. And I see a couple of our people are on with the questions that are here in the tour. We would have been doing this outside. It's quite dark.
And it would have been so much fun.
It is so much more fun. Also, for those of you who are community members of RV Community, we will go live with our Afterglow for just members of the community as soon as this one ends. And that'll be about 7:45. Those of you who want to join us on RVCommunity.com. And I should give a big pitch. If you haven't already joined RVCommunity.com, come on, get off of that toxic stuff on Facebook and come over to our community. It's online, it's ad-free. It's people who really want to help and encourage you and have fun. It's not all those nasty people on Facebook. You'll get great advice, and you'll make friends, have lots of things to do. Just give it a try. Go to rvcommunity.com. We do 3 live streams a week there, usually 2 or 3. So check it all out. All right. So let's go. And I had a couple of people say, hey, can you have people inside your RV to do it? And we've been gone all day on the tour, so it's not really set up for...
Well, it's just that there's not room for very many people.
Yep, and they'd all be off to the side, and we'd be looking like this, talking to them instead of talking to you guys, so it didn't work out. Steve Egbert checks in from California.
And what do we have?
Yeah.
Where is he? Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Hi from California. Nice pre-fall day here. Question about Brinkley. Is the black front cap going to be hard to keep clean?
Well, no. I mean, I haven't washed it in the 3 weeks we've had it on the road, and God has cleaned it. It just rained at night, hard rain, and it's not particularly dirty. No, that's the least of my concerns, Steve. So I doubt whether that will be an issue at all. But if it was,
you could just squirt it off with a hose.
I just squirt it off with a hose.
Throw a bucket of water on it.
There's not much. Skylar 286.
Greetings from Michigan. Whereabouts in Michigan?
Yeah.
Since we're natives of Michigan.
Yeah. Great to see Skylar on there. Carol Fife.
Hello from Chesterland, Ohio. Finally got a little bit of rain we so desperately need.
Hey, Carol. Good to see you on there.
Mm-hmm.
And Susie Tignell-Smith is here.
Good evening from Montana, getting closer to Michigan every day.
All right. Montana's a great place to be this time of year. It's our favorite time out there. Teresa Voiles.
On the way home from Ludington State Park with our brand new Rockwood Mini light.
Well, we got a lot of Michigan people on tonight.
Uh-huh.
And I know Steve Egbert's out there in California, so we've got California checking in, but everybody else seems to be from Michigan. Let's go see what else we got. Despina Reyes.
Hello from St. Charles.
Despina is about 4 rigs over that way.
Yeah, she's not far away.
We spent the last 18 days with her. Michael DeWall.
Hi from Lighthouse Point, Florida.
Hey, Michael. Thank you for checking in with us tonight. Jeff Carter joins us.
Hello from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Hey, Jeff. Good to see you. Joanne Schreiber.
Hello from Joe and Mike from Wisconsin.
Hello, Joanne. Nice to have you there. Don Vineyard.
So good to watch you both. Thank you for your advice and tips.
You know, that's another thing that's fun about the community is people are asking always. We're as much as we can during the day and in the evenings answering questions, giving advice at rvcommunity.com. You get close access to us. And again, we've had so much fun with the RV community. I just want to pitch you folks from YouTube and Facebook and X that are watching us. If you've never checked it out, go check it out. It's better than any other online forum you'll find anywhere for RV information. Don Vineyard, good to watch. Karen Horton checks in, also from here.
Hello from Karen and Stan. We are
they're in Virginia.
We're on a camping trip this weekend. Eastern Shore of Virginia, celebrating our birthdays.
I think this is the best month to camp, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, September, this time of September, and then
and
next
October.
Don Lynn and Huckleberry Finn. Okay.
Hello from Pennsylvania.
Is this the Dawn that we met at the last campground? I'm wondering, because I think you were going to Pennsylvania. I don't know. Well, anyway, hello, Don Lynn. Sundance Blue. Oh, that's Tom Welch in there.
Hi from wet northern Michigan.
Is it raining? I guess it's raining in Michigan. It just started raining. In fact, it's kind of stopping, but it's pretty dark out there. I think we might have to, I don't know. Because I want to do our Ask Us Anythings and our community live streams outside, but maybe we can turn on the lights for the RV and do it that way. It'll probably work.
We could move to the sofa to have a different background.
Karen H., one of the people on this tour with us.
What a day we had in St. Louis. So much to see. There was a lot to see. It was a fun day today.
Yep. Tracy.
Question. Do you still travel with your e-bikes?
Not on this trip because there's no time. No time. When we're traveling just the two of us, yeah, we do. We love our e-bikes, but and it depends on what we're going to do. But this trip, and after this trip ends, we have a rally that we're hosting for members of the RVCommunity.com, and we're doing that in Fredericksburg, Texas. And so we didn't bring them because we're going so many different places. So thank you, Tracy. Jeff Newman.
Hello from Site 99B, Rig 19.
Just down here. About
yep.
Two
Jeff and Rita are
blocks.
part of this caravan.
Yep. Tropical Caper.
Have you ever had a systems failure that was significant enough that you had to cut your trip short? By the way, great weather here in Kennebunkport, Maine.
Well, let's see. Have we ever had to cut a trip short? No, we had a lot of problems with our old Road Trek vans. Always, it seemed, and this was back when lithium was just coming in and solar was just coming in, and we had a lot of issues. It seemed like our vans were always like prototypes.
They were prototypes.
Yeah, and so there were always things that stopped us, and we had to stay over a few days to get things fixed up. And then one time we had early on, and this is over a decade ago, we had one of our vans went into limp mode as it's called, where it can't go any more than like 40 miles an hour, and that's not going to work on I-80. So we had to somehow get to Billings, Montana, and it took several days to get parts shipped, and there was some turbo valve, something that went wrong. But we've never had to cut short and come back on a trip at this point that I can think of. Do you?
No, but we had that limp home mode.
That was
several times.
Yeah, we did. That was all those road treks and those initial diesel sprinters. I'm sure much of that has been fixed from now. So that's good. Traveling Robert. Well, hello, Robert. What are you doing in Michigan?
Where in Michigan are you, Robert?
Yeah, I saw you were in... I was actually thinking we might run into you between here and Texas and hang out with you and Healy. But what are you doing in Michigan? You were down at Hershey. We didn't go to Hershey. It's 2 years in a row, Robert. We missed Hershey.
Or is it 3?
2.
Okay.
2 years in a row. And we're actually thinking of doing what you did last year, do Quartzsite in January instead of Tampa. Question, we're not sure on that. Robert, we got to talk on the phone, get together. So I'm glad to see you watching us. I've caught a couple of years from Route 66. Nancy White.
I have a main power on-off lever in my little 16-foot Airstream. When are you supposed to turn it off?
Well, you would. I think you're talking about your battery disconnect and everything. You would turn that off when you're not going to use the unit for a significant amount of time. A couple of weeks. You're going to put it in storage. If you are going to just park it in your yard and you don't have a 30 amp or 50 amp, whatever, I think that 16-foot Airstream uses 30 amps only. If you don't have a 30 amp connection to keep the batteries on, you would probably turn it off. So it just basically removes all the power from everything. And the battery doesn't lose. It will always lose a little bit of charge, depending on what kind of batteries you have. Lithium, not so bad, but AGMs, you'll lose a lot. So just summarizing everything, when you're going to leave it and not use it for several days or several weeks or a season, that's when you would turn that main power on and off. Does that make sense? I hope so. Big Jim Slade.
Have you ever had any sealants or coatings applied to your RV to help protect the paint from bugs or dirt?
No, we haven't. We have thought, we debated if we had had more time with this Brinkley, I would have tried to talk the CFO of our organization into doing a full paint instead of this isn't a full body paint. But and that would be really nice to have. But we have not put a sealant on any of the stuff. Some people do. We tend to not keep our RVs more than a couple of years so that we're always cycling through. This one, I don't know. I'm not.
What does it cost?
A lot, a lot. And I've read mixed reviews from people who have done that. Depends on who you have do it. But for us personally, no. And he says it's nice and cool there in central Kentucky, and they're waiting for the rain to start overnight. I think some of it has just gone through us here in St. Louis, headed your way. So
seems so funny to say us in St. Louis.
I know. Yeah. Cecilia Andrade.
Question. Do you know if my Ford 150 can tow an Airstream International 23 foot?
It's pushing it. Can it tow it? Yes. Would I recommend it? No. I think it's too easy for you. Once you put everything in your Airstream, and once you put in, you got a full water tank and full gas tank, you're going to be stressing that little 150 engines out. Now, what kind of an F-150? You have a diesel? That makes it a little easier. Is it gas? And I don't know what your weight is, what your maximum cargo carrying capacity is on that Airstream. But look that up, see what it is, and they will list that in their specs, what the maximum carrying capacity is. And then check with your Ford dealer or go to the Ford site, put in the year of your Ford and all that, and they have a service there that'll tell you whether you can handle it as well. That's on your Ford website, and you got to put in all that info on your Ford, which I don't know what your specs are on that, but it's pushing it. It really is. That's a pretty good size travel trailer. It's not the biggest that Airstream makes, but it's pretty good. One way home.
Okay. Have you any issues or heard of state and or national parks not allowing e-bikes with a throttle on their trails?
Many trails say no e-bikes allowed, and I'm finding, just like we find many more places saying no drones anymore, I'm noticing more and more places, campgrounds, state parks, saying no e-bikes. Yes, we've never, and I got to be back to that question on e-bikes. We don't use them as much as we used to, and it's just probably a reflection of our travel style these days. It's more destination oriented. And we tend to have things planned that we're doing that really don't involve an e-bike. Actually, I use the e-bike at home more than I use it on the road these days. But there are more and more places that there's kind of an anti-e-bike movement in some of the parks because hikers don't feel they're purists. Real cyclists and mountain bikers can't stand e-bikes. And they're a little more organized than e-bike RVers. The mountain bikers put a lot of pressure, keep them off our trails. So it's a growing issue. And we've not had a bad experience ourselves, but we do see the signs as we travel. No e-bikes. Joe Carrick.
Hi, from Plymouth, Michigan. Sharon is still struggling with ongoing post-COVID symptoms. Hope to hit the road in early October.
Good for you. It's a great month
and
to travel.
And certainly hope that Sharon...
It's coming in just 2 weeks there, Joe. So
hope that Sharon's 100% soon.
Road trip buddy. I wondered where you were today.
Hi, Mike and Jen. Please give your dog, Bo, a really big hug for me. Bo needs a hug. You have no idea. Bo has had a nanny come visit him the last 2 days. because we leave at 7:45 in the morning or 8 a.m. in the morning.
7:45 yesterday.
And get
we didn't
back
get
at 5:30.
5:30.
So we hire somebody to come to tell Bo he's a good boy, take him out, feed him.
And they're really great. We've used Rover at a couple of places, and this is a local pet sitter that we found in St. Louis, and she's terrific. But yeah, we've been using that. So as many of the other people here on this tour.
Yes. And Bo has never been left like he has been left on this trip. And he is so grateful that we come back that he's not even mad at us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's just all wiggles and you came back. Thank you.
Yep, he is. Teresa Voiles.
Do you dump your gray and black tanks when you are totally full or 3/4 full?
Oh, this is such a great question because so many people miss it. Fill them up. In fact, before you empty them, run the water in the gray tank and get it as filled as you can. Run the water in your black tank, get as much water in your black tank as possible, and then empty them. Water is the best tool you have. Do you have, like everybody else, have problems with the sensors in your black tank saying that, hey, it's 2/3 full, and it isn't because you just emptied it the day before? It's because gunk and stuff, read between the lines, accumulates on those sensors. And the way to get that off, and it'll dry on there, and the sensors don't give you accurate reading. And that happens after just a few uses. So the best thing you can do is fill up your black tank before you empty it. And all that water runs out. It helps pull that out. The second thing you can do that's really good, and I've been doing it with the Sprinkly because Sprinkly makes it really easy, is use a black tank flush. The Brinkley I really like this. It's got your city water connection here with your city hose coming in, and then right next to it, they have a black tank, and you can just simply unhook that and put it on your black tank, or run a second hose if you want. That's what I'm doing here in St. Louis. And after you've drained it, run water into that black tank. You always want to make that black valve open because you don't want it to fill up your toilet and overfill it. And that will clean it up. You'll be amazed at how much stuff it pulls out when you thought your tank was empty. So as much water as you can, and get a black tank flush. If you have an older rig and it doesn't have the Sani flush, or it doesn't have a connector for a black tank flush, you can buy a unit from Camco, and we've done it. I think it's on our Amazon page. And it is a Rhino Blaster, it's called, the Rhino Blaster. And it'll allow you to hook a hose up to the sewer connection and run. And you can find it. There's a link. Thank you, Phyllis, for putting that up. There's a link to our Amazon page right there. And I think it's on there. But if it isn't, just search on Amazon for Rhino Blaster, RHIONO Blaster. And that will help clean it. Glenn Allen.
Hello from Pam and Glenn in Oregon City, leaving for Tacoma on Amtrak for my 66th birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
I think that would be a really fun trip to do a long train ride.
Jimmy Land has a question. I can't wait till we get it.
Okay. Traveling Robert, today Forrester, tomorrow Detroit, then Canada.
Oh. We used to live in the Detroit area most of our lives.
All right. Oh, good. Let's get together, Robert, because I really want to talk to you about Quartzsite. And I got a really cool idea, something we could do together out there. So I think we should do a telethon. You and me and maybe a couple of other friends. That'd be kind of fun. Jeff Carter.
What's the best way to plan a trip from coast to coast, starting in South Carolina?
Okay. I don't know, Jeff, are you familiar with, I did this last night. Are you familiar with ChatGTP? Have you tried to use that for a route planner? Now, I use RV Trip Wizard. That's my favorite planning tool. And that's my go-to. And what I do with that is I set in my starting point, my destination. I say I don't want to drive any more than 300 miles. And then it finds me campgrounds along the route. It'll stretch out a route, the best route between the two cities. So that'll give me an idea. But then last night I did that for a trip that we're going to do. And I said, do it along this highway. Find me, I wanted places that had consistent 4-star reviews, and full hookups, pull-throughs, and plan me a route in which I don't drive any more than 2 hours a day. And ChatGPT gave me some really great spots. I mean, really great spots. So then I took those spots and I searched for those RV parks on my RV Trip Wizard, read the reviews, confirmed that they were all good reviews. It saved me a lot of time. Now, that sounds like a lot of work, then don't do it. But RV Trip Wizard, and there's a slight learning curve to that. Not bad. We do have a link to that, and you can find that under, I think, our partners link at rvlifestyle.com. rvlifestyle.com/partners. RV Trip Wizard is part of a suite of programs from RV Life, and that's been our go-to for planning. But I've been having fun with AI and ChatGPT. I was very impressed with what the route it came up with. Richard Durr.
Okay, from Colorado. We go over passes exceeding 10,000
feet.
10,000 feet. I experience brake smell. I drive a 2023 Tacoma VC twin turbo and
V6, yeah.
V6, yeah. Sorry, twin turbo, and pull a 2025 Brinkley. What is that? The
I-275. That's their travel trailer. Yep.
Okay, your thoughts on upgrading the brakes?
I think you don't have enough trailer, enough truck to pull. Well, maybe you do. If you got twin turbos, you're probably okay. It's the brakes that you're smelling. It's the brakes on the truck. Maybe the brakes on the if you're using the brake control. Are you using cruise control and engine braking as you go up and down those hills? And you always are going to smell some of that stuff. But I'd be curious whether you're using engine braking to help slow your descents. That's why you're smelling the brake. So, and I don't know enough about the Tacoma and its V6, but I would check the carrying capacity again of that new Brinkley trailer and the Tacoma and see if they match up pretty good. Make sure you've got enough truck to do that, enough engine to slow it down.
Brakes are hot. You need to stop and
well, when you're going down and you're going up and down 10,000 feet, you're going to have some places where you're going to have to put those brakes on. Do you remember when we took a Sprinter RV up Pikes Peak?
Yeah, you had to stop and let your brakes cool off.
It was 10,000 degrees or something they said. I don't remember what they said. It was massive heat. It wasn't that far, but it was a lot. So anyway, engine braking is your friend, Richard, and I would urge you to try it. I don't know enough about trucks and all that stuff to give you the mechanical stuff, but I know engine braking will help. Jimmy Land.
Okay, this is a good question. I've heard you calling for people 50 plus to join the RV community. Are younger folks allowed to join?
Of course. In fact, we'll be your grandparents. We'll help you find stuff and give you great advice, and you'll have a lot of fun with us. Yeah. Why do I pitch to the 50-year-olds? Simply because that's the sweet spot that it seems like our audience is in. We have people that are much younger that are in a group, and we have people who are closer to 100 than they are 60. So it's really everybody. But I do a lot of our marketing for people over 50, because if you watch all the marketing from these RV companies, they're always pitching to young people who are, when they got these people standing on the top doing yoga poses, and it's easy for people over 50 to feel kind of left out. And that is a big segment of the RV community. I did a survey of our audience, and it was like 98% were over 50. So we welcome them. We believe the best chapter of your life really starts when the kids are grown and when you get near and are about ready to plan retirement. But by far and away, young people are certainly invited, and we urge you to come. And speaking of the community, y'all stand by. We'll take a couple more questions, and then we'll get ready and we'll come live for our Afterglow over at RVCommunity.com. But Jimmy, by all means, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you as well. And you don't have to be over 50. Joanne Schreiber.
Do you recommend RV toilet paper or just a brand like Costco or Sam Club? Or we differ on this. I always think that you should use RV toilet paper, and you think any brand.
I think that if you use a lot of water in your RV and you use a good RV, treatment pill or liquid, whatever you want to use, then it's going to dissolve and you're going to get rid of that toilet paper. Where I think the RV one ply, you want to use one ply toilet paper? Seriously?
You just use more.
Well, then why don't you use, if you're using more, that takes as much as a 2 or 3 ply or a comfortable
like
kind.
Airier, where it's thicker when it's like 2 or 3, super soft.
Well, it's still
toilet paper. It depends on how many females do you have in your rig too.
Yeah. I would use, I can't believe we're answering questions about this. I would say get something that's comfortable, but not the most deluxe Charmin, and use a lot of water and empty that black tank, make it full when you empty it. And I don't think you have problem. And I think over the years that's better, but don't buy any more one ply. I'm sorry.
Well, sometimes, that's the only thing you can buy at a place that we're camped at. And so I buy the one ply.
Yep.
But I like the 2 ply.
Phyllis Sabin, thanks for your tips on planning. Thank you, Phyllis. Phyllis is a member of RV Community, and she's been on an awesome Western trip, and she's been posting lots of pictures and making us all wish we were traveling with her right now. But thank you, Phyllis, for all the stuff you've been posting on RV Community. All right, we're going to do 2 more questions, and then we got to kind of break this part down and then get ready to go for our Afterglow on the community. But Joanne Schreiber again?
We used Harvest Host, and 11 came across.
I came across.
Oh, I came across an option that it plans a trip from point A to point B. Is this new? Does anybody use it?
Yeah, I haven't used it on Harvest Host. I just used it last night on the service like Harvest Host that we are using more and more, RVovernights.com. I urge you guys to check that out. It's much cheaper than Harvest Host. And if you use our link, you can get 40% off. So I think it's $49 a year, whereas Harvest Host is like $100 a year. It has many of the same spots that Harvest Host has. And I noticed they have that now and I just did that on this trip that I'm messing around with ChatGTP, and it will plan out a route too. So it's a good service. Yeah, either of them, all of them are. And that's good. Okay. Last question from SK.
I was mentioning your Great Lakes series from 4 years ago. It's great. We just watched the video about Lake Huron.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. We did. We also have some books that we have a Great Lakes tour that we did. And we did that ourselves I think that's the one you're talking about, the video series we did where we started on Lake Ontario and we traced the U.S. side of Lake Ontario and then into Lake Erie and then up to Lake Huron and across and over to Superior and down Michigan. And it was 3,000 miles, that trip. That's a big trip. And but we also have books on Great Lakes travel and 2 books on Michigan, one on the Upper Peninsula and one on the South. So we urge you to check out our travel guide books. But I'm glad you saw the YouTube videos. It was fun. That was one of our favorite trips. We had a really great time. Okay, hey, we're going to cut this one out. And we are going to get ready to go over and do an Afterglow at RVCommunity.com. So those of you who are members there, come over and watch us there with your questions. They always tend to ask a little more blunt questions sometimes. It gets kind of fun. And we always look forward to that. What else? Okay, coming up this week, the podcast. Have you heard about the woman who died in Michigan last week? When she was apparently, they were hooking up. Cops aren't saying much about it. They withhold all that stuff. But by all accounts, they were hooking up the 5th wheel and she got caught between the truck and the 5th wheel and it crushed her, killed her. And there've been several of those over the past few years. And we want to talk a little bit about that because it's a danger that I don't think most people realize and how fast it can get. Now, it became real to us as we were learning this new hitch we have on the Brinkley. And, I had to keep Jennifer from don't go back there. Don't go right behind them.
You didn't have to keep me from getting back there. We had a neighbor, a man who decided to help you. And he stood right between the tailgate
don't stand there
and the rig. And I'm just like, don't stand there.
Don't stand there, yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't stand there if you paid me.
That's another reason why you shouldn't have somebody else that you don't know helping you. But sometimes they just come and they do that. And I remember saying,
he was helping, and I'm just like, you're going to get squashed like a bug.
Well, anyway, we're going to talk about that, and we've heard from other people with that. That'll be on the podcast this coming week. We don't want to give too much away because
nobody have to. I really like that question. Do you ever get a mouse in the house?
We've had them in our Montana, or was it the Arcadia that we had the mice?
The Arcadia.
They had them in the Arcadia.
I don't think we never had them in the Montana.
We didn't have them in the Montana, and hope we don't get any in this new Brinkley. All right, last question. Vote up with Bay Sharp. Congratulations on hitting 200K subs. Thank you. We haven't really pushed subs like we should. In fact, this is a good time for us to do that. If you haven't subscribed to our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube, please do so. Click the bell icon, and then you get notified when we do live streams as well. Hey, you guys had a lot of great questions tonight.
Really, a lot of good questions. So thank you.
And to those friends of ours who are on this tour with us, I'm sorry we couldn't go outside because of the weather tonight. We do a live stream Thursday night for the RV community. So we will go live from outside the rig Thursday night, weather permitting. And then, of course, we'll be back next week with Ask Us Anything. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great week. We'll have a video next Saturday on week 3 of our Mississippi River tour. Until then,
happy trails.